Welcome back, everyone, to the late night review. And tonight I want to talk about two movies that I really love. Two movies. Yes, the special effects are not good, they're cheesy, but they're movies that are old, very old. And I have a lot of nostalgia for them because I saw them as a kid on video cassette and whenever they reran on a particular channel. But I like both of them a lot, and both of them I'm going to rank. I'm going to rank them. There's two films, and they're both starring the legendary bodybuilder Steve Reeves, and it's Hercules and Hercules Unchained. Which one is better? Which one is better? I've rolled this over in my mind multiple times. I like both of these movies. Both of these movies are two movies that I really have a lot of fun with. The special effects are bad. Certain parts are kind of wacky, and it's a product of they're products of their time. And but I enjoy them. There's a lot of people who might look at them and say, "Well, this is just," but I really, really do like them. Steve Reeves' physique is showcased in both of them. Bodybuilding champion, legendary bodybuilder, really a pioneer and a great influence for other bodybuilders. He influenced other people to get into bodybuilding. Frank Zane, the legendary Frank Zane, said that his biggest influence was probably Steve Reeves. Arnold Schwarzenegger really looked up to Steve Reeves and was influenced by him, along with Reg Park and others. But yeah, Steve Reeves, his build is great. I mean, if I'm not a bodybuilder, but if I was ever a bodybuilder, I'd probably choose Steve Reeves' physique because it's a good balance, not too big, not too small, not too veiny and ripped, but just right. And but yeah, anyway, I could talk for forever about the great bodybuilder and really all around great guy, Steve Reeves. I mean, he served his country in World War II, became bodybuilding champion and legend, went into acting, made these Hercules movies and other sword and sandal films that really became a positive influence on a lot of people. And Sylvester Stallone was influenced quite a bit by Steve Reeves. So there's so much to this, and I've gone over it over and over again. Which one do I like better, Hercules or Hercules Unchained? They're both movies I enjoy. There's flaws in them, but they're old. They are dated, of course, and that's part of their charm, in my opinion. I think they're very fun movies. I like the music, I like the actors, I like the stories. I like, even though the fights are not realistic, they're entertaining to me. A little too slow for me in certain ways and the way they do the fighting, but you could say that about almost every Hercules movie made back then. And but I tell you, it's kind of a tough decision because I do like both films. I like Hercules, the original, where he goes through his labors and the labors that they have him complete, even though it doesn't follow the mythology exactly. There were actually, I believe, 12 labors in the original story with Hercules. And I used to have them all memorized. I'm not going to try to prove it right now because it's been years since I actually practiced that. But I used to have all those labors memorized. And this first one, Hercules, is fun. It's a classic. There's more to the story. It has Jason and the Golden Fleece angle story in here. It has that within it. And there's different versions of Hercules through the years. You have Jason and the Argonauts, where Hercules appears at the beginning of the film and then later he doesn't. You have Hercules movies where Jason makes an appearance and then later he doesn't. In here, Jason is a pretty essential character in this film and in Hercules. And then in Hercules Unchained, uh, there's two kings who are sharing the throne, and they promised their father that they would share the throne equally, and one of them is worse than the other. They're both bad, but one of them's worse than the other, and he doesn't want to let his brother rule anymore, and that's kind of an interesting story. One of the things that makes it difficult for me to choose between the two is because there's parts I love in both films. In Hercules Unchained, he has that fight at the beginning of the movie that I really enjoy. As unrealistic as it is, I enjoy it quite a bit with Primo Carnera. Primo Carnera plays one of the figures of Greek mythology. When I think it's Antaeus, but anyway, when he touches the earth, he regathers his strength and his forces whenever he's knocked down. And Primo Carnera was heavyweight boxing champion of the world. On my past videos, whenever he came up and I started talking about him, I shared the story where my Italian grandfather, I heard this when I was a kid, I was told my Italian grandfather came over to America on the same boat that Primo Carnera was in. One of my grandfathers was from Italy, my other grandfather was from Norway. But yeah, Primo Carnera is in this, and it makes it a better film. And then there's a really wonderful scene at the beginning also of Hercules Unchained, where Hercules goes down to Hades, the doorway, not really a doorway, but to the cave, to the entrance to Hades, meets the king down there. There's an old man down there, not really a king, but an old man down there. And his two sons are not good characters, and one of them particularly is evil, and they agreed to share the throne rather than fight each other for the throne. One would have it for a year, the other brother would have it for the next year, and back and forth. They would go on like this. They promised their father, and if I remember right, it's a year each, and then they keep doing that over and over again, and then one of them refuses to give the throne to his brother. And that whole conversation that Hercules has down there with this old man, and then one of the brothers shows up, a bad brother, but not the worst brother, shows up, and they have that whole dialogue down there. But I love the way Hades looks. I love the colors, the art direction, and the music, and it just the way it is, just the way it looks. I think the art direction in this film is really, really good, especially for the time it came out. There's so much I like about Hercules Unchained. But I have to say this. Hercules, the original, is a faster pace than Hercules Unchained. You have that whole sequence in Hercules Unchained, and I think it's unnecessary. It actually drags the movie quite a bit. The beginning of Hercules Unchained and the ending of Hercules Unchained is good. The middle, I don't care for much. He drinks the water of forgetfulness, and he loses his memory for like 40 minutes in the film, give or take. Could be 45 minutes. It seems like forever. And I really wish they would have had that last just a few minutes, because it takes so much away from the film. In my opinion, yes, they're building a story. Yes, there's an angle to it. They try to add more to the overall story because of what happens to him when he forgets his memory. But it makes the movie drag so much. And because of that reason, I'm choosing the original Hercules as number one and Hercules Unchained as number two. I think the original Hercules with Steve Reeves is a little bit better. A little bit. And I don't think it's a whole lot better, but I think it's a little bit better just for that reason. Hercules Unchained had the potential to be the best. It had the potential to be number one if they would have cut that shorter, add 2 or 3 more kind of fun, epic fights, epic or fun, however you look at it, like he had with Primo Carnera, the Antaeus. I believe he played Antaeus, one of the figures from Greek mythology. If there would have been a couple more fights with people like that, or Greek figures like that from mythology, or giants, more action in the middle, I would have chosen Hercules Unchained over Hercules, the original Hercules. But I'm choosing Hercules, the original with Steve Reeves, over Hercules Unchained, just for that reason. I like both movies quite a bit, but because of that sequence where he loses his memory, takes so long, he's out of action for like 45 minutes in Hercules Unchained, because of that reason alone, I'm putting the original Hercules above Hercules Unchained. And also, I will say about the first one, it does drag a little bit when they meet the Amazons too in there. I wish that would have been cut a little shorter and there would have been more action. But that being said, the original Hercules has a faster pace. And Hercules Unchained has that 40 or 45 minutes where Hercules is, at least it seemed like 45 minutes, where Hercules is out of action because he forgot everything. If they would have either cut that part out and had more action, or really cut it down to like 10 or 15 minutes and then had some more drama or some more fights in the middle, then I probably would have chosen Hercules Unchained. So I am choosing Hercules, the original, over Hercules Unchained. I like both movies with Steve Reeves. I think they're colossal classics, in my opinion. Some people, when they see them, they think these B-rated movies. But Steve Reeves, what a presence, what a character, what charisma, what an influence. And both of these movies are some popcorn favorites, I think. I mean, they're fun, entertaining movies where you can just kind of sit back and be entertained. And I highly recommend both of them. I highly recommend both of these movies, especially the original Hercules, but I like both of them. And this has been the Late Night Review. Check them both out. I highly recommend them if you haven't seen them. If you like these types of movies, I think you'll enjoy them. If you don't, you might just figure it's a waste of time. But I like both of them. And please like and subscribe, share this video, share it with others so they can see this type of content. And good night, everybody.